What's going on, everybody? Zyonik here, and in today's video we are going to be checking out some Ultra League Go Battle League battles submitted by a member of the community, Politoed. Now, Politoed is in rank 9, about 2600 MMR, and he's bringing basically a very strong team. Typically we see Swampert, Giratina Altered, and Articuno. That's definitely a very strong team. But he's opting to bring Politoed instead of Swampert. Politoed basically has the same coverage that Swampert does. You have Mud Shot as a fast move, Earthquake as a charge move, and Surf. So Surf instead of Hydro Cannon, because Swampert does have that Community Day move. Surf will still provide same coverage, just not hit as hard. So you can still do very similar in terms of damage and coverage, but it's just like a cheaper, or not cheaper, but a non-legacy Swampert, so to say. So we see the swap now into Giratina Altered on the charge move. That Poliwrath lead wasn't too great because Dynamic Punch is going to be doing quite a bit. And he is ahead on shields, which is really nice to see. And we're going to see Dragon Claw now come in. This is going to be doing some neutral damage to the Poliwrath, and he's probably staying in because he wants to get off some ice punches. He probably wants to apply pressure to shields. If he doesn't get a shield here, we might see the swap. So ice punch coming through, no shield coming in, and we see the swap now into Reggie Steele. So Giratina Altered is going for the Ancient Power now. This could be pre-Ancient Power nerf. I wasn't too sure. But I don't think it is. That didn't do a lot of damage. Even though it is resisted, it definitely was not as much, I think, as normal. So this is probably post Ancient Power nerf, and we're going to see Giratina Altered now go for a Dragon Claw here. Again, still resisted, but chipping away at Reggie Steele's health will definitely help out. And wasting Reggie Steele's energy is what's really important here. So he needs to basically not be farmed down. If he gets farmed down by Reggie Steele, it's not going to be good. But if the Reggie Steele decides to use a charge move, which he does right here, that's actually going to be very, very good for him because he can come back in with the Politoed and look to pressure with Earthquake. So he's going to bring Politoed back in, look to get to the Earthquake before the Flash Cannon can come in or the Focus Blast. Earthquake will be doing super effective damage to the Reggie Steele, same coverage as Swampert, and he's able to take out the Reggie Steele. So we'll probably see the Poliwrath come back in. No, we see him again. Okay. Ooh, really interesting. Okay, going for the Surf right now, looking to do some extra chip damage, and this is where Politoed gets a shield. Okay, so the Meganium could have thought that the Politoed may have had Blizzard. Politoed does have access to Blizzard, or maybe he's just unfamiliar with the moveset. He knows it as Earthquake, but it doesn't know what that other charge move is, so he was actually able to get basically a free shield right there. So a slight misplay, but that's what happens when you bring unique and spicy Pokemon into Go Battle League. Your opponents aren't going to be as aware of the moveset because there are so many moves to remember. Fast moves, charge moves on all the Pokemon, not to mention ones that they could have access to. Just think about all the moves that Hypno has. There's a ton, or Mew. It's just a nightmare. So if you see a Politoed and you aren't aware of the moveset it has, you just saw it did Earthquake, but you are unsure. Maybe it has a Poison type move. Maybe it has Blizzard. Now we see the Articuno versus Poliwrath right here. 2 shields up, so Articuno should be able to clean this up pretty nicely. All he needs to do is basically get to 1 Icy Wind, and it should be okay because after 2 Icy Winds, 2 shields, it's going to be able to survive a Dynamic Punch from the Poliwrath and be able to take it out with fast moves. So really good first game right there. Again, losing lead, but able to transition well because Giratina Altered helped chip away at Reggie Steele, and then Politoed was able to finish off Reggie Steele pretty well because of Earthquake. And it definitely helped out that he got a shield versus the Meganium. So really good battle right there, and time ran out actually. It was quite a long match right there. So we're going to go ahead and move into the second battle here. All right, moving into game 2 here. We'll have to see how this one does. Politoed is, like I said, is similar to Swampert, and actually we see a Swampert on the lead as well. So we'll have to see how this plays out. They both charge energy very, very quickly. And we see a swap actually on the Surf into a Giratina. So we'll have to see how he decides to answer. Not going to do a lot of damage, and he's going to come straight into Articuno. Good call. Articuno is going to do a ton of damage to Giratina Altered, especially when most Giratinas are not running Ancient Power anymore. So the Dragon Claw going to do a little bit of neutral damage, but it's definitely not that hard-hitting Ancient Power like we saw before the nerf from Niantic to the damage of Ancient Power. So now Articuno is able to land the Icy Wind. That's going to do a ton of damage, lower the attack of Giratina Altered. Doesn't have to worry. He's probably going to look to farm down with fast moves alone. This is definitely something you want to do if you have a super effective fast move. You farm down for energy. Yes, they could get off a charge move, but it's not going to take you out. And then he's able to basically have stored energy for the next Pokemon coming in, which is going to be really good. Is he going to opt to go straight for Icy Wind? He is. It's going to be a Charizard coming in. Ooh, he could have gotten away with going for Ancient Power, potentially. We do see the shield, and he's going to swap now into Giratina Altered, and we see the Swampert now come in. So this is really, really good. His opponent thought he was going to come back into Politoed, which is why he swapped into Swampert, but instead he was met with a Giratina Altered. And that's why Giratina Altered is so strong in the Ultra League, guys. It is a cover basically to all the starters. Now, Swampert can do very well against it when Earthquakes are landed, but if it's the Community Day moves, whether that's Blast Burn, Frenzy Plant, Hydro Cannon, it's not going to do a ton of damage. What you want to have is those hard-hitting neutral moves. So will we see a shield right here? Probably not, because he still has the Politoed, and it was a Hydro Cannon bait, so good call right there. Now, will we see a shield on this one? No shield coming through. Hydro Cannon will finish off, but he has Politoed, guys, and he has Articuno as well. Ooh, is he going to be able to farm it down? No, Swampert's going to be able to finish off. Oh, he's going to shield on this. Okay, really interesting. He's going to go ahead and shield. And then the Charizard coming in, he's going to go ahead and go for Icy Wind to lower the attack on the Charizard again and probably swap into Politoed. Yep, he's swapping into the Politoed, and Politoed has Surf for the coverage, guys. He needs to watch out for the Dragon Claw right here. It's going to do some nice neutral damage, but a Blast Burn as well. Not doing a lot. And he has Surf right here, able to easily take out the Charizard. But Charizard still does have a shield, but yep, shield comes up. But he's going to be able to outpace it in terms of charge moves, and he's going to be able to get to a Surf. Now, this is likely going to be another Dragon Claw. We see a shield come up. It's going to be another Blast Burn, actually. Okay, so the Surf now coming through, going to be able to finish off the Charizard, and the Swampert in the back, I think, has very little health, and he's going to be able to finish off with fast moves alone, so that is going to be a good game. All right, moving into the third battle now. He's doing pretty well. Politoed's impressing me quite a bit. I think it's a little bit bulkier than Swampert, but it just doesn't hit as hard with Surf, but that's okay because if it's doing super effective damage, it's going to cover what it needs to. So we have Politoed versus Reggie Steele. This is the dream land right here. This is what you want, and we see the swap now into Venusaur, so he's instantly going into Articuno. Great call right there. Even though it was a blind swap, basically, you cannot have Articuno try to face off against Reggie Steele. So he's going to go in, and Icy Wind is going to absolutely destroy Venusaur if it doesn't go shielded. Even though it's a low damage move, it's going to still hit pretty hard for super effective damage, but he does get a shield, which is going to be good to see. And he can likely not shield right here. The Sludge Bomb or the Frenzy Plant won't be able to take out Articuno because of the debuff that was just applied. He's going to be able to get to another Icy Wind here. This will be finishing off the Venusaur, or it's going to get two shields, and then Articuno can just shield the next charge move and finish off with fast moves. He gets a second shield. Okay, this Venusaur really wants the Articuno out of the match. He wants to maintain switch advantage, but the Articuno, he doesn't shield. Very interesting. Okay, now he's going to go into Giratina Altered, completely farmed down, and we see the Reggie Steele come in, and it actually locked himself in. This is asking for it. You definitely don't want to lock yourself in, especially when Venusaur was so low and you won switch advantage. He just gave up the switch advantage that he won with Venusaur. So now Politoed is free to go for Earthquakes. This Reggie Steele is unshielded. So really smart plays by Pikilo, able to save his shields for his Politoed while also recognizing that his opponent swapped out and just brought in the Politoed. Now he's going to shield right here. The Focus Blast not able to land. He's probably going to go for a Surf. Let's see here. No, he's just going to go for the Earthquake. Really overkill right here, but I don't think Surf would have been enough. Hydro Cannon would have, but Surf probably doesn't have the oomph needed to finish off Reggie Steele. Venusaur is going to come in, and he's going to be able... Ooh, is he going to shield? Will we see the shield here? He's probably going to save the shield for Giratina Altered, which is perfectly fine. Giratina Altered can handle a lot of the meta. We'll have to see what it is. As long as it's not a Charmer, it's going to be Swampert, so he's good to go. All he has to do is successfully shield one of the Earthquakes and just go for straight Dragon Claws right here. Shadow Claw, Dragon Claw is going to do quite a bit of damage, and he's so far ahead on energy, there's really not a lot the Swampert can do other than land two Earthquakes, which is very unlikely given the amount of health Swampert has. So now we're going to see a charge move coming through. Guillotine Altered is going to go ahead and shield, just block the Earthquake. It is going to be the Earthquake, so that will seal the deal here for game 3. Dragon Claw, I just imagine one more Dragon Claw and a few fast attacks will be finishing off the Swampert. He may have to get to another Dragon Claw. But yeah, there's not a lot Swampert can do. It's going to be a Hydro Cannon right here, but it's going to be resisted. Giratina Altered is meta dominant for a reason, guys. It's going to be resisting all those starter elements, so water, grass, fire, and electric. And as you guys can see, it just really handles Swampert very well. So we're going to go ahead and move into game 4 here. So he's doing pretty well, especially losing lead on some, winning lead on others. So you're able to see a nice balance here with these matches at high caliber play as well. But you're also able to learn what not to do as well. His opponent there double shielding on the Venusaur might have not have been the best call, or that swap. I know you want to always try to win switch advantage, but when you give that back up by swapping, it's not the best call. This is a great lead. Politoed into Typhlosion. This is what you want right here. And we're going to see the swap now into Weavile. Okay, so the Articuno now is coming in. Weavile has access to Avalanche Foul Play with Snarl, so we'll see a shield come up here. This is going to be Avalanche coming down, which will be doing neutral damage to Articuno because of the Flying Ice typing. Now we'll have to see if a shield comes up here. No shield on the Weavile, but he was able to put the attack debuff, so now he doesn't need to shield. Avalanche and Foul Play will not be doing as much. It might be Dark Pulse, actually. I could be wrong, but I think we're just going to be seeing Avalanches come from the Weavile. Now he's going for Ancient Power here for super effective damage. If this lands, it's going to be really, really nice. It does land, able to take out the Weavile. No boost coming in, and we're going to see Charizard come in, so he's got to get to this Icy Wind if he can. He can't get to it in time, but he still has Politoed. And then Giratina Altered in the back for the Typhlosion. So we're going to see the Charizard come in. Actually, he has Typhlosion and Charizard. That's an interesting team comp. Definitely going to be running into trouble when it comes to Politoed is itching to delete these fire Pokemon, especially with Surf here. He's just going to be spamming Surf. So there's not a lot the opponent can do, especially when you run Double Fire. If you're going to run Double Fire, the suggestion would be to probably lead with the non-fire, because when you have two Pokemon that share the exact same weakness, so in this case water, right, you don't want to lead with one and have one in the back because the team synergy isn't going to be as good. So maybe if they led with like a Venusaur, for example, or if he led with a Swampert, for example, and then had Typhlosion and Charizard in the back, that'd be a little bit better in terms of team comp. So now we're seeing the Politoed get off another Surf. Remember, he still has Giratina Altered as well, and he's just going to swap to Giratina Altered and finish off this Typhlosion here. I imagine he's going to go for Ancient Powers, and we see the Surrender. Yeah, so goes to show that sometimes when you're running through Go Battle League, you can learn from the team builds, whether from your opponent or from your own. In that case, maybe his opponent learned that, you know what, this team has a real weakness to Swampert and Politoed, probably shouldn't run that. So we're going to go ahead and move into the final battle here. And again, if you guys want help with like team building, there's videos on my channel. Just head down to the PvP guide section. You guys will be able to see team building. But a good example is basically like if you think about rock, paper, scissors, you want to look at maybe like paper, rock, little rock, so that you have coverage in the back. So for example, Politoed, definitely going to be weak to grass, which is why he has Giratina Altered and Articuno in the back. Now we see Politoed versus Reggie Steele. We see the swap into Poliwrath, and the Articuno is going to come out. So this is actually going to be quite tough because Articuno is going to be weak to those dynamic punches. It's going to do quite a bit of damage, even though it's neutral because of the Flying Ice typing. But Icy Wind will also help it out. I don't imagine Poliwrath is going to be doing any shield. So yeah, no shield coming through on the Poliwrath. But we'll probably see a shield bait here, I would imagine, from Poliwrath. Potentially Ice Punch, or is he just going to go straight Dynamic Punch? He's going straight Dynamic Punch, but the Articuno can still get debuffs, but it's not really going to win in terms of damage versus Poliwrath here. We'll have to see how this plays out. So Poliwrath is going to be getting to another charge move relatively quickly because it's running that fast move of Mud Shot. So what we see is this an Ice Punch. It's going to be another Dynamic Punch, so good shield on the Articuno. and then another Icy Wind coming through. And when you bring in the Articuno right there, it's probably more advantageous to shield the first Dynamic Punch because it's going to do the most damage, while the final Dynamic Punch, because of these Icy Winds, isn't going to do as much damage. But he's going to decide to double shield right here and farm down with fast moves so that he has loaded energy. But his Poliwrath is able to get both shields from Articuno and take it down. So his opponent's looking pretty strong right now. Icy Wind coming out from the Articuno. Not going to do a lot of damage to the Reggie Steele. And we see the swap. Are we going to see the swap? Yep, we see the swap now into Politoed going for the Earthquake, but Reggie Steele can safely shield this. He doesn't shield, however. Ooh, risky. Now he's going to go for the Surf, but the Reggie Steele can get to Focus Blast and basically finish off the Politoed here. No shield again. What? Wow, this guy's really risking it for the biscuit here with Reggie Steele. Focus Blast coming through, not able to finish off, and he does a swap into Armored Mewtwo. Oh man, Armored Mewtwo versus Articuno. He's going to be able to get the debuff in time. He is able to get the Icy Wind. This will be lowering the attack of the Armored Mewtwo, but the moveset on Armored Mewtwo is still pretty good at taking down Giratina Alter. 2 shields as well. And this is another Pokemon I can't wait to get myself and like showcase for you guys, or have someone showcase it for you. Armored Mewtwo is very strong. It's just a bulky kind of generalist that can cover quite a bit of the meta and apply a lot of shield pressure without having to shield that much itself. Now Dragon Claw is coming out from Giratina Altered. We're going to start seeing shields on the Armored Mewtwo. Shadow Claw is going to be doing super effective damage. Reggie Steele again in the back with no health, no energy. So we'll have to see how this goes. We see the sack swap, Reggie Steele going down to fast moves. Giratina Altered able to get off the Dragon Claw. And this is going to come down to the wire, guys. It's going to come down to fast moves right here. Shield coming up. Is the Side Strike going to be enough? Ooh, man, gets off another Dragon Claw, but I think the Armored Mewtwo is going to be able to survive and get off the Side Strike right here to finish off Giratina Altered. Yep. Armored Mewtwo is able to get to the Side Strike right there, and that is going to be a good game. So, great showcase here. More winning leads than losing leads, but overall, great battle. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.